Today I have Freddy, and he says, let's try to find a mate here. Oh, he's a good boy, about 8 years old, right, Freddy? Yeah. Yeah. Even Freddy says we need to try to find someone that's 23 to 36. One other thing I wanted to say before I started today's YouTube, one thing I wanted to say around here was that you take Picard's thing, the ultimate truth that you don't deserve that uniform bit that Picard said to Wesley Crusher was exactly this week's Star Trek, Strange New Worlds. And yeah. Spin it, everyone! Yes, it is your host again, Johnny2B. That was my intro of an intro here. And yes, we're doing Talespin. Now all the music and all the animation belongs to Walt Disney Animation Studios and Alexander Courage, who I believe did the music and in the background you hear. Yes, it took me a while to do the top 10, and as I said, I really do need some help with this. Even Freddy, who's about 8 or 9 years old, we need some help with this. Someone that's female, 23 to 36 out there. Anyway, so Talespin, as you're well aware, is a 90s Disney afternoon cartoon. Take Blue and Bagheera and Shere Khan and put them in the early 20th century, like late 1930s, like 1937, 38, so to speak, right in between the wars. And right in between the wars and stuff, and basically it's Indiana Jones meets Indiana Jones that meet in the sky. You have air pirates, you have the Soviets known as Thermians, and they're kind of in place of the Nazis and stuff. It's too bad it lasted 1.5 seasons, 65 episodes. I think the reason it was short-lived is not that popular at the time, but I think the other reason they already had DuckTales and Rescue Rangers, and of course Nickelodeon had its stuff, and it was just too much action and adventure. I think it was just too much. I think that's one of the reasons why they removed it, besides not being the most popular of TV shows, although it was my all-time favorite television show of all time. And that's why it took me a while to get to this part of the top 10. So, so here we go, a top 10 of Talespin. Spin it, shall we? Starting at number 10 is The Idle Rich. And no doubt that the Idle Rich is about when Blue and his friend, his adopted son, Kit Cloudkicker, who's basically supposed to be Mowgli, but so they put Cloudkicker, who's also a bear, and they're looking for an idol, fortune and glory. Indiana Jones is trying to find, and instead of Nazis, they're doing this is right, the Cold War ended in '89. This is it was written right when the Cold War ended. The scripts of these things were right when the Cold War was ending, so they still have, but this is the thing, this is Stalin's Soviet Union, or Stembians as they were known, and they're looking for an idol that, for fortune and glory, called the Idle Rich.
I know what's under my nose. You know where the idol is? Hope you kiss a rhino, I do. Now, look at the map. Look at Moose Lake. No, hold the map right side up.
Hey, I see it. Those aren't antlers. It's a mustache. By George, I think he's got him. Harbor Lake?
And of course, Blue is his usual comical self, and kind of he's more not like the Jungle Book, but he's more more like Indiana Jones. Like I said, it's a cross of action adventure and Jungle Book and a few other cross of adventure linked together. Next is Wadas of the Wasp Treasure. The reason I used the New York accent with the W is because it's supposed to be about a treasure. They're trying to find a treasure that's supposed to belong, not just belongs in a museum, but it's also a fortune and glory. And of course, New Yorkers have that stereotype with the W's, and they go waiters instead of raiders. And also in Indiana Jones type stuff. Also, it's in the air and stuff. Waiters of the Lost Treasure is number 9.
The map says to pull the chain.
There could be another trap. After you.
It won't budge.
Out of my way. I should have known you couldn't handle this. We need more weight.
Huh, that's hard to believe. I hate to say it, Baloo, but it looks like we gotta work together.
All right. But once we pull this chain, it's every pilot for himself.
Herself.
What if?
Again, I do not own Talespin. I don't own Talespin. It belongs to Walt Disney Animation Studios, so I apologize for that. The next one is Time Bandit. And Baloo tries to trick his boss, Rebecca Cunningham, who he eventually has a love relationship with, to try to get an early pay day. And it turns out to be... and he tries to make Friday into Saturday, and he tricks everybody. But of course, he does Halley's Comet and stuff. That's coming in at number 8, Time Bandit.
Saturday?
Can you believe it's Saturday already? Where did Friday go? If time flies any faster, I'll be jet lagged too.
So that was Time Bandit. And of course, they had Halley's Comet. They have a different name for Halley's Comet that tells us it's actually Friday, not Saturday. He's trying to get advance. And so the next one coming at number 7 is Blue Switcheroo. This one they get in Idol, where they're not supposed to stare at the idol during a thunderstorm, and it does a Freaky Friday, and Don Carnage, who's an air pirate, switches bodies with Rebecca, and Baloo switches with Kit, and they have a Freaky Friday episode with 1. So here we go, Baloo Switcheroo.
Sir, with you. Feet off the desk, kid. It's bad enough I have to tell Baloo all the time.
Okay. Don't pop your pearls, Becky.
Kid, how dare you talk that way? And how'd you do that?
Do what?
Sound like Baloo.
Well, I don't sound like Baloo, do I?
Not to me. Okay, what are you two up to?
What?
I said something must be wrong with your hearing. I didn't want to tell you, but inside that head is the mind of a child.
Kid, you shouldn't say things like that, even if it is true.
Oh, Miss Cunningham!
Don't.
Next one is War of the Weirds, and Baloo. Again, I like all of them, and they're all my favorites. But this was a really hard list to choose because it's like Star Trek. This is one of my all-time favorite television shows growing up. As a young kid. Anyway, War of the Weirds, where Baloo is always trying to look for ways to get time off. Pretends he's going to be flying to Mars. They're trying to pull a Flash Gordon stuff, and of course it turns out, and of course the government overhears the radio conversation. And again, I don't own this. This is for educational. I consider it educational, so I don't get any copyright stuff. But he's playing around to, and he tricks everybody that he's on Mars when he's really at, Lake Placid, or they call it Lake Flaccid. War of the Worlds is it's play of words. War of the Weird.
My foot's caught.
Next one is My Fair Baloo, and that one takes place in the where Baloo, instead of My Fair Lady, it's My Fair Baloo, where he's supposed to, you know, be more sophisticated. They're trying to play on that. Again, this is supposed to be the late 1930s. However, they bring in the 1920s with, instead of Al Capone, it's Al Capone, and they're trying to. Well, Al Capone is robbing the Spruce Moose, which is actually the Spruce Goose that Howard Hughes built, and they're trying to combine all that together. And I like that because I like that. You know, it's kind of like Piece of the Action on my all-time favorite Star Trek. It's kind of like one of those episodes. My Fair Baloo.
It's for a charitable cause. The Al Capone Retirement Fund.
Hello?
See, Rebecca owns Hire for Hire. See, I forgot to give a little background. See, Blue owed money on the Sea Duck, and his business was foreclosed. And Rebecca Cunningham, who was a business major, which is a very big step in the early 1930s for a woman to be their own business in the late 1930s. They mentioned the World War I. They call it the Great War, and but the idea is that they're always looking for ways to get rich, and they're a struggling business, even for her, and so she doesn't have any jewelry. And I forgot to mention that. And he's trying to find. They find enough money to buy the Sea Duck back. He does in 2 of the episodes, but he ends up losing the money. But you know, again, this is, you know, it's Rebecca's business. Next is Road to Macadamia. Another one, but this one with Louie. Again, Louie from Jungle Book. He's best friends with Baloo, and it's more Indiana Jones in the sky and more Fortune and Glory, as Dr. Jones would say. You know, this belongs in a museum.
The devil care to look them all that you can hold today. Yeah, we speak with them on our house. Okay, Louis, all clear. You sure? Positive. If I can open my eyes, I know I'll be seeing stars.
See, both of them were owed money, and they're trying to get money. Louis, he needed money for his, you know, macadamia nuts and for delivery, and they're trying to get their. And of course, there was also a treasure involved from a broke kingdom. Next on the list is From Here to Machinery. Instead of From Here to Forever. It's play on words. From Here to that other movie. Sorry, my mind, but From Here Machinery. Basically, this guy builds a robot, saying that robots are better than human, or better than, and of course, Shere Khan's professional pilots and freelance pilots, and they have a race. And of course, Blue, he loses the race, but he eventually proves himself that he is better than a robot, and that robots can't, human, or they can't be replaced.
That's Baloo with 2 O's. Pilots to the starting line. This is gonna be too easy. On your marks.
Don't blow this race, Baloo, or Khan's pilots will be out of jobs. Don't blow it, Baloo, or us freelance pilots will be out of jobs.
Get set.
You lose this one, and Hire for Hire's out of business.
Go! Don't worry, little.
It's amazing that Bagheera is friends with Shere Khan and not with Baloo. I guess they had to do that with something, I don't know. Next is In Search of Ancient Blunders, and how Indiana Jones always says, it belongs in a museum. Well, apparently the museum is the place that belongs in a museum, and there, and, mummies. And again, this is Indiana Jones and Sky coming number 2 in search of ancient blunders, and the pyramid was built upside down.
I apologize for the long walk. Taxis are scarce in Iridia.
Oh, that's okay. When I'm losing in strength, I'm gaining in blisters.
Hey, Baloo, I don't see any dancing girls.
They're dancing in another country. I'm starting to get the feeling Iridia's not real big on that. Sorry, ma'am.
But already,
Again, I have the shortness for copyright, and for I don't want copyright stuff. I'm doing short clips here and there. But that came in number 2, and now and for number 1, Plunder and Lightning. This is pretty much the introduction to everything, and pretty much Blue is smarter here. Also, if you notice, Jim Cummings has been acting in this as well, but this kind of introduces you to air pirates and instead of Nazis, and pretty much introduces you to the characters. And it's all my all-time favorite, Plunder and Lightning, the pilot episode. This is part 2 of the 4-parter. I was really sad they only lasted 65 episodes.
Fix that idea.
Got any rope, Baloo?
Where did he learn that?
I don't know, but I want to go next. You want some dessert?
And that was Plunder and Lightning for you. Blue was written smart. It's too bad he was dumbed down during the main TV show, and this was just the pilot. And of course, if you've seen my read my fanfics or seen my fanfics on fanfiction.net or earlier ones, now you know what Talespin is more all about, and where I got these ideas and stuff. And so yeah, this is Johnny 2B. David signing off. I hope you liked Talespin's Top 10. Thank you and have a good day.